Hi, I'm Missy from Ramblin' Rose Farmhouse. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to make a delicious low-carb sausage ball recipe. So for those of you who, like me, need to eat a little bit lower carb and kind of watch the carbs, this sausage recipe is easy to make and delicious. So the things you'll need to make this are sausage, some cheese, cheddar cheese, and 2 large eggs, and then the Trim Healthy Mama baking blend is also in here. So if you don't have this product, I would recommend that you get it because it's really good and you can make a lot of good things out of it. But you can substitute this for almond flour or oat fiber or a combination of those. I can tell you that I've done it that way and I really like it better with the bacon blend. So this is my choice of what to use, and I will link underneath the video where you can find this. Today I'm making my sausage balls out of this sausage that we make here at our house, and this mixture is half venison and half beef, but we also sometimes make it half venison and half pork. I've used that. I've also used straight, and this is already seasoned. This is a pre-seasoned sausage. I've used just ground beef. I've used just ground pork. I've used pre-seasoned breakfast sausage that you get, from the grocery store. So I think that it works equally well with any of those. I haven't ever tried ground chicken or ground turkey or chicken or turkey sausage, but I think it would work exactly the same with those too. So if that's your preference, I think that you wouldn't have a problem using that. This is 1.25 pounds of meat. I have made this recipe with anywhere from 1 pound of meat to 2 pounds of meat, and I pretty much just do my seasoning the same way, but you can adjust if you want yours to be seasoned more or seasoned less, or however you like for it to be. But if you use a meat that's not seasoned, a good basic seasoning that you can do is a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of pepper, an 1/8 teaspoon of red pepper, and a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder and onion powder and celery salt. That would be for 1 pound of meat, and then you can adjust that if you have more meat. Also, if you like other things in your sausage, you can change the seasonings to what you like. Like, a lot of people like a sage in their sausage. I don't, so I don't add that spice to mine. But if you like that, then you can add that to it. Another thing that you could use that's really easy, and I do use this a lot, is just a Cajun seasoning like this one. It has all the different spices in it, and it's really easy to use, and it's really good. I don't really know how much to tell you to use, because when I use this, I just shake it over my meat and then I'll mix it up. If it looks like I need some more, I'll do another shake. But maybe like a teaspoon per pound might be a good starting point. And you can always, when you make this recipe, if you decide that they really needed a little bit more spice, you can kind of change the recipe the next time that you do it and add more of whatever you think you needed more of. So the first step is to brown your meat, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and brown my meat behind me at the stove, and then we will finish with the rest of the recipe. sausage is about done. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my meat back over here and I'm gonna dump it into my bowl. And I am gonna go ahead and use the grease to cook out of it. Now mine is not super greasy. If yours is, you may not want to use all of the grease, but you do want to use some of the grease because the sausage balls need that to keep them from being too dry. So, got this in here, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grate up 8 ounces of cheddar cheese, and I had a bigger block. I've got about half of it left. So this is not an exact measurement, but I'm using about half of this 16-ounce block. Now I like to grate my cheese into my warm meat because that really helps it to mix together really well. What I'm going to do is stop every once in a while and mix this up. And it really just goes ahead and starts melting that cheese. Now I'm going to mix this really well. Sometimes I find the easiest way to mix it is to use my little chopper that I use for my meat. Chop that cheese into the meat really well. I'm going to add 1/2 of a cup of my Trim Healthy Mama baking blend. I'm going to go ahead and mix that in. Now my meat is still really hot, I can tell through this bowl. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes and let the meat cool off just a little bit before I add the eggs to it, because I don't really want the eggs to start cooking as soon as they hit the meat. So I'm going to let it cool for a few minutes, and then when it gets cooled off a little bit, I'm going to add my eggs and then we'll finish. So it's been about 10 minutes and I feel like it's cool enough now that I can go ahead and put my eggs in. So I'm going to stir it around a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 large eggs, and I always use the largest eggs that I have. I'm going to mix that up real well. Mine seems a little extra wet today, so I'm just going to sprinkle a tiny bit more of this bacon blend in there. So now it's time for me to make my sausage balls, and I find that it's easier to make them if I wet my hands first. It's not quite as sticky as it is like this, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to make about 1-inch balls, and see, with my hands wet, it's not sticky at all. going to go ahead and stick these in my oven that's preheated to 375. In my oven, they take about 18 minutes to cook. They could take a little longer in your oven, but if you just give me a minute, I will show you what they look like when they're done. Okay, here they are, fresh out of the oven, and they are delicious. So I hope that you will enjoy them as much as we do here at our house. Also, I wanted to tell you, if you have a problem when you're trying to roll them up, if they seem too wet, you might have just put a little bit more of the grease in your mixture. And so go ahead and take your baking blend, sprinkle a little bit more over the top, and work that into your mixture of sausage and cheese, and then you should be able to roll them up a little bit easier. But don't forget the wet hand trick. That really helps you to be able to roll them better. So thank you for being here today. I hope that you enjoyed this recipe. I really appreciate each and every person who watches my videos. And if you liked the video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I'll be making more low carb videos, but I also will be making food recipe videos that are not low carb, because I have 2 growing boys that live here and they need their carbs. So we do cook foods that aren't low carb too. So anyway, thank you for being here. I hope to see you back again.